Aerial Knights Never Yield. Killer style, visual, audio, great sound. Combines sort of a almost like a speed running type, like hyper challenge. It almost feels like a Flash game. You only need one hand to play it, and then mixed with that super hot slowdown, really dangerous moments that a character is avoiding through grace and precision. Good tutorial too. This game is awesome. This game, you have a game like this, and it just is going to demo so well because you instantly get how to play, and it instantly feels good. And you only have to press a few buttons at the right time, and it feels great. And you're wondering, like, what is this world? It's really colorful, but there's these people shooting at you and people chasing you, and that guy looks sort of homeless, and we got these like futuristic elements. Oh, Cyberpunk stole Prey 2's concepts. That's like what happened to that Jodorowsky guy who was going to make Dune. And he had all these great ideas. He got Geiger, who eventually went to make the artwork in the Alien movies. And yeah, he had Geiger that went on to make Alien. He had a whole bunch of different ideas that I can't really remember now, but it's a great documentary on him, Jodorowsky's Dune. Also, his idea was he had everybody on board. He had like Mick Jagger, Orson Welles, I think Pink Floyd, Geiger, like I said. He forced his son to train for a year and a half to become like an incredible fighter so he could play the role properly. It's going to be amazing. And then he told the executives it can't be a 2-hour movie. It needs to be like 10 hours to properly tell the story of a book, which makes sense. You know, like the average novel, even on the smaller side, is going to take you about 6 hours to read. That's how long audiobooks are, right? And now with the Netflix model of limited series, it's the BBC model, but with Netflix, it's way more popular to make something that is 8 to 12 hours long and is like an extended movie. It's better and more in-depth than a television series, but longer than a movie. So you can tell a story that people can really get into and can develop the characters more. Because the movie is so quick. Movies are really like nothing else. Well, they're like a play. They're this evening of entertainment. They're like a concert or a play or an album. Ow! You know, as opposed to like a book. Transferring a book to a movie is it's always so tough. You just need so much more time to tell those stories. Is there a small jump and a holding jump? No. It's the same. This actually probably works better with WASD, because I think you can be more precise. Oh yeah! So what concepts did Prey 2 have that Cyberpunk stole? That's a bummer. Yeah, and Cyberpunk definitely felt like they had some really cool ideas, and then they just were too into trying to make it Grand Theft Auto and trying to make it a whole bunch of other popular games. We're going to make it open world. Going to make it like Grand Theft Auto. A little bit like Deus Ex. Guess I had a couple options. Oh no, if I slid under, I would have been dead. Goof! Don't crush your ham, boy. This is where I should be sprinting. Sprint! Sprint! Oh! You gotta dodge, not sprint. I like the arcane version of Prey. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that worked really well. I thought the story was pretty generic, but the storytelling moments were good. And the feel of the station, the atmosphere, the enemies, the powers, the puzzle solving. So that one's short, and then there's, yeah, you can go. That's the only one you can hold and do longer, other than slow down and sprint. You can do those ones longer too, but it seems like the jump and the side jump are just a single tap. There's no variable on that. This game's kick-ass. Gotta feel so much like something you just play on a computer, you know? Like on a browser. Just killing some time at school. This would be a good phone game too, because you could just tap on the screen. This is awesome. It's so weird though, the little pixel guy on the bottom. He seems like he doesn't fit. It was like they started off trying to make it a pixel version, and then they thought, oh, let's up the ante and make it add some more style. Which I think is nice. I mean, I like pixel art, but mostly when it's drawn, but this feels like it can express a whole lot more. And I think probably get you a different audience too. Probably more of an audience. Asset recovery. Why are they coming after us? Is he like a special mutant that's escaped from the mutant high school, like an X-Men type? Or maybe we're teaming up with them. What's going on here? Is this a race? Whew. This is really cool. Doing this as like a ongoing chase sequence. I guess I could do sprint faster too. Sort of like Uncharted in a way. Oh, these sort of like taking one of these games and making it into sort of a set piece thing. It's really cool. Okay, I'm not quite sure. Just from the perspective, it being mostly two-dimensional, it's not always super clear what the correct one is to do. But I mean, if it goes up high, I go down low. Seems to work. But what's nice is that if you fail, it's so quick from when you are able to just quickly go back to where you failed at. So it's no problem to experiment and try different things. So far I haven't needed to do speeding up or slowing down. It's just been up or down. It's actually kind of simple. I feel like, is this like a boss battle where I need to explode it a few times? Or have I not done... Kind of reminds me of that rhythm game Thumper where you need to do things in succession to beat the boss. Otherwise you just keep going through this endless loop. Okay. I'm speeding up, I'm slowing down. This is a really interesting game. Bethesda stole the game and screwed over the Human Head Studios. Tell me the story, Shrippy. Wow. Okay, what's that one? Half jump. This game is seems like pretty much done for a demo. I think they could make some of these. There could maybe be some more sound effects, but I guess that might interrupt with the music. It feels kind of quiet without sound effects, but the music fills in a lot of that. Oh, I thought the guy was wanking. Thought he was having a big old wank on me. It's a pretty damn good demo. Wow. Yeah, this game's pretty much polished. Like I said, if you just the cool thing is like you can really tailor these experiences because each section seems so compartmentalized. You could like keep going over this and making it tighter and more interesting and adding different pieces to it pretty easily, right? This is like a game jam game, obviously with much more polished graphics, but it's one of those like simple ideas that, you know, seems really genius, where when you go simple like this, it just makes it easier to do everything, right? And then it's sort of like with great games, you know how like a Rocket League only having a few buttons, but like having simple controls, but having very deep possibilities. When you make a game like this, it's simple, but there's a lot of possibilities with it. I mean, you could also have it so it was rhythmically with the music, but that's a whole other piece where that's gonna, I mean, that's a whole other piece of difficulty, right? When you're making a game like that, and then you want to also have it be working with the music. So I think it's fine as it is. So far, it just seems like a fun little diversion game that's really fun to look at and fun to listen to, and overall pretty fun to play. I don't know if I really like that it slows down. I think that kind of messes with the flow a bit. Level 6 cleared. This is a really long demo. Well, thanks for the story about Bethesda, Shrippy. That's a bummer. I should play the original Prey and get a piece of what people were after. Oh, that's the end of the demo. That feels about right. That was really good. I highly recommend that to just about anybody. I mean, it's pretty simple. Probably almost too easy with the way that it slows down, but, you know, it's just a demo. You're trying to get the point across. With that, it's probably makes the most sense to make it super easy in the beginning and then really ramp it up and then have the ending be pretty tough. I think it'd be nice. I love the music a lot. Worked really well. Visuals are nice. Maybe some sound effects might be nice. But again, it's one of those things where if you have no sound effects, it's just a whole other thing you don't need to worry about at all. You can focus on the actual game, right? Interesting. That was really, really good.